Hello everyone and welcome back to MomWise. My name is Gabrielle and today I am going to be doing my 1 week postpartum video and also going to be discussing my labor and delivery and what's been going on since I have had Walter. So to start things off, the beginning of my labor started on the 20th of April at 6:30 in the morning, and I was in bed sleeping and I was pretty sure my water broke, but it really wasn't that much at all that came out. So like I went to the bathroom, put on a pad and then just went back to bed, and 2 hours later around 8:30 I started to have real labor contractions, and over an hour of time they started getting closer together around 2 to 3 minutes apart even, and it was really consistent. So that was definitely really nerve-wracking actually, because the whole pregnancy I had Braxton Hicks contractions, but there wasn't really that many that I was having, and they weren't consistent or anything. So it definitely was I don't know, when people say you're in labor because you just know, because the contractions are so strong and so frequent. It is true, it definitely is. So yeah, it's having contractions around 2 to 3 minutes apart consistently for over an hour, maybe 2 hours. And so Carlos was sleeping, my mom's here visiting, so we made breakfast. I made sure I had some eggs and some spinach, energy food, because I knew labor was happening soon and I would need my energy. So I was having contractions, making this food, and then I ate it pretty fast because it was just I felt like I had to go, I gotta get to the hospital. So after that I woke up Carlos, and then we rushed to get our things together and packed everything, and I wasn't able to get some of my videoing equipment, so that was kind of a bummer. But we got to the hospital and they checked me and everything, and I wasn't dilated, but I was having contractions consistently, and I was already due to be induced Saturday, that day, at 8 p.m. So they were discussing keeping me there, but then they had to do some checks and whatnot, so that was took forever, it seemed like. But they finally decided to admit me, and I was there for ever. It seemed like my labor was so long. In total, I was in labor for 26 hours, and that was crazy. I mean, so much pain. And I through the whole labor I was having consistent contractions. They didn't let up. I think out of the whole 26 hours, maybe for an hour it let up, and it was just intense pain, the most pain I've ever felt in my life. It's crazy. It is just painful. Okay, so I was there for hours, it seemed like. For a while there, Carlos was there with me, but then he went home to take care of our dog for a while and just get some things in order, pick up some stuff for the hospital. So by the time he came back, I think it was around 10 p.m. that night, or maybe even later, I'm not sure. But it was just after my contractions started getting really bad, and I thought I was going to be able to not take any sort of medications, or I thought I was going to be able to go through it without an epidural. I was hopeful I could, but once my contractions started getting I think it was after they administered me the second pill for my induction. It was I'm not quite sure what it was called, but they administer one like every 4 hours to see how you're dilating. And it wasn't until they administered the second one that I started having like really hard contractions. Like before it was just like consistent 2 to 3 minutes apart, maybe like 3 to 5 minutes apart too. But then they started to get like really hard, lasting really long, and it was just like unbearable pain, and I needed the epidural. So I asked for the epidural, and that was really painful as well because, I mean, I don't know. I was going through contractions really hard, and then they had to like, you know, tap into your back basically and like open it up to get into like the nerves and do your nerve blocks. And that was like just, it seemed to take forever because the pain was just so strong, so hard, that I wanted them to like get in there and do it and get it over with. But you know, everything takes time. So I got that done, and then like it was like everything happened so fast after that. I went from like a dilation of 4 centimeters like all the way to 9, and then like during that time I actually felt my baby's like head like engage and like drop. It was just like so much pressure like down there that, I mean, it was like inevitable that I knew, it was like I knew I had to push. Like I even told them, I was like, I seriously feel like he's there and I have to push like now. And sure enough, they were like, okay, it's time. So like the nurse got everything ready for the labor, and then like the only people that were in the room was like my mom, Carlos, and the nurse. Up until like basically I pushed total, I think it was 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is like super long, but oh my god. Anyways, so up until like the very like I had to push basically until like Walter was like, his head was like there, like, you know, kind of like out. But that's my air conditioning, by the way. It is going to be on during this video because it is so hot here where I live. But anyways, back to the story. So I was like pushing, and Walter's head was like pretty much like, you know, visible at that point, like to the point where they called my doctor in, which my doctor was amazing. I mean, once he got into the room, it was like he told me to push, and I pushed, and I think I pushed like 3 or 4 times before he came out. But he did end up like, you know, cutting me a little bit just to like help things move on along faster. And I am actually grateful he did do that because it's a controlled tear rather than, or a controlled cut, rather than having like a tear and it not being controlled. So yeah, that was awesome. I'm so glad that my doctor did make that decision. I didn't know it was going to happen, but I am happy that happened. But after that happened, everything happened so fast. It was just like, you know, I pushed him out, or like he got pulled out from like what Carlos told me because he was right there watching everything. And he said that Walter came out like his head facing down, and then he had like his hand above his head. So that was kind of weird for Carlos to see. Not like really weird, but he's just like, you know, was confused and also like worried about what was going on. And then after that, they put Walter on my chest once he came out, and I was just like, at the same time, like I was holding my baby, but at the same time, like also I had to like push out the placenta, and that felt really weird because I could feel the umbilical cord moving inside me and my stomach and my abdomen, like a pulling feeling. And that was just like so bizarre. I mean, it's just like the things that you go through during labor are just like intense and can be pretty brutal. I mean, like if I'm gonna be honest about it, it's a beautiful moment, yes, but it's also like scary and real at the same time. Like, Carlos said that there was a lot of blood, you know, and he was worried about me, and he was talking to me and telling me, you know, just breathe, just keep on talking to me, don't close your eyes. I mean, like, when somebody's telling you that, it's kind of like scary at the same time. So as I'm holding Walter, you know, as this stuff is happening, finally the doctor starts stitching me up down there, and I was able to like start nursing Walter, and that was really nice because I felt like everything started to like slow down more. I wasn't so like in shock. I didn't cry, but I was like definitely in shock. Like it was amazing, and I couldn't believe, like, once I heard him cry, that was probably like the best feeling ever, because I just like wanted to make sure that he was okay and he was healthy, and I could hear him and see him and know that, you know, everything was okay. So I started nursing him, and then I nursed him for like a good 45 minutes, and he latched on pretty quick, and he has been latching on really good. Like, he is such an amazing nurser. I am so happy. I mean, my breastfeeding has been great. Like, I haven't really had any problems at all. So I'm so happy. And so yeah, we nursed for a while, and then finally Carlos was able to hold him, and Carlos held him for like I don't know, like a good 20-30 minutes. And then after that, they had to do like some tests downstairs in the room with us, and then like put those drops in his eyes. And then once that was all done, we were able to go up into my room upstairs. Now, once I was up into my room, I think I stayed there until the 23rd. So I had him at 10:33 in the morning on the 21st, and we went home on the 23rd. And during that time when I was upstairs, I had like a lot of time to be with him because I didn't really have that many visitors, and we didn't really want any visitors. Like, one of my clients, they're an OBGYN, and they were already working at the hospital, so him and his wife came to see me. But other than that, it was just like my mother and Carlos and Walter. And I think that was really nice because it's more personal to have, you know, just close family and friends there. Like, if anybody was to tell me about labor, like if I would to give anybody my advice, I would say that, you know, just keep it really small, like your spouse and just you, preferably. That's what I think it, you know, like if I was to do it all over again, that's what I would have done. Just because, like, I don't know, like, I just think it's so, like, gets more stressful when there's more people involved and it's less personal. So, yeah. So the hospital went great. Like, the nurses were great, treatment was great, food was great, and honestly, like, I was getting up and moving around, like, within hours. The second day I was at the hospital with Walter, like, practically, I don't know, like 75% of the day. And then Carlos came and slept over so I could get some sleep, at least a little bit. But the first, I don't know, the first days until like the 23rd, I don't even think I got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep between all that time, like between the time I started labor until the time I was released. Only because Walter, like, when he would breathe sometimes, they said like this fluid, he would spit it up. So he'd have to go over there and like suck the fluid out of his mouth just to make sure like he wouldn't like choke up on the spit up. So that was like really nerve-wracking, and I definitely didn't want to like fall asleep while he could possibly, you know, choke on his spit. So yeah, definitely wasn't sleeping. But I mean, I did get rest, like when Carlos was there and my mom. And so we went home, and the first night it went really well, but the second night, emotionally, things started to get hard. Like, it seemed like just having a new baby and adjusting our lifestyle and, you know, Carlos and I personally, getting used to it, it was a little more difficult. I think like the first 3 days of being home were like emotionally hard, but other than that, like it was amazing. Like he's such a good baby. I mean, he sleeps, I mean, he goes to the bathroom, of course he cries when he needs to, you know, be changed or to be fed. He does like to nurse a lot. I would have to say that he loves to nurse. He loves to eat, but he's a big baby. So when he was born, he weighed 8 pounds 10 ounces, 20.5 inches. So he is a big boy and he's healthy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Right now he's in the room with me. He's in the crib just like sleeping soundly, and I'm gonna like get some video feed of that here shortly. But he is just amazing. I love him so much. It's like the purest love ever, and is so unconditional. Like I would do anything for him, and I think he's just precious, and he's a doll, and oh my god, I can't get enough of him. Like I swear that's why like I don't get any sleep, is because I would rather be awake with him like all the time, which is great. So, but yeah, mentally I'm doing really good now. Like Carlos and I have been like getting a schedule down. At nighttime after he gets home from work, he actually stays up with Walter while I'm able to sleep, and then like in the morning I get up and Walter nurses, and I've been I started like pumping extra milk so that way Carlos can feed Walter at night, and then I'm able to get some sleep. And then other than that, like I breastfeed exclusively. So I only do the pumping, you know, for bottle feeding at night. And Walter does great with that as well. Like he doesn't get confused with the pacifier or bottles between breastfeeding. So that's been tremendously helpful. Like if it was just like strictly breastfeeding, like it would kind of be hard because I would have to wake up in the middle of the night, in the middle of my sleep, and you know, feed him while during the day, I mean sometimes he'll feed for like 2 hours so straight, and then he'll take a nap, and then he'll wake up and feed again. So yeah, breastfeeding at night or like 24/7 would be really hard, and I definitely, well maybe like at first, but now my milk is coming in, so it might be easier later on the road just to breastfeed exclusively. But yeah, so that's been really good. He's been helping out schedule-wise. Carlos has been working, and I just started working today, and I'm only like a week postpartum. I started working again, which is great because like I love working. I love, you know, my business. I watch dogs and I walk dogs. I haven't started walking dogs yet just because of Walter. Like I don't want to leave the house and be away from him and take away that time right now, because I know we're not ready for that yet. I am still in the process of healing. So right now it's just like select dogs I'm gonna have here boarding with us, just like the really good clients. So that's that. And yeah, it's been so good. Like my mom's been here, she's been helping, helps me clean up the house and like cooking food, and that's great because I need to eat extra food now. I feel like hungry all the time from like nursing, but I've lost like a lot of weight. The only foods that I've been eating is like oatmeal. I've been eating like fresh vegetables, fresh fruit. Like I eat oatmeal twice a day though, because like it has helped me tremendously with my milk supply and also losing weight. I've been trying to eat like I don't know, like just different things like chia seeds, like smoothies with kale, banana, oatmeal, just like a lot of healthy, good nutritional food, and then like lean proteins. I've been doing a lot of lean proteins. But yeah, it's been great, and my little guy is a week old today, and it is amazing. Like he's starting to see things like more, be more alert, like follow things with his eyes, facial expressions, smiles, coos, noises, grunts, like, oh, it's so adorable. I can't get enough. But yes, I do want to do like a semi video, like I'm not sure, a video of my labor vlog, but to be honest, that didn't really go so well. I tried getting a video feed of it and also like pictures and whatnot, but it just like honestly didn't go like I wanted it to, like planned at all. Like it was so stressful. Like that part of my labor was so stressful. Like I tried, and like when I look back on the video feed, it is disappointing and it really makes me emotional. So I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to make the video, but we'll see. I still don't know. And also to some of my viewers, I know you have been asking for a pregnancy Q&A, and I will do that now because I have officially gotten through my pregnancy. So I think it's official that I can, you know, go through the things, the questions that people have been asking me on my account, my channel. So that's that. But to wrap things up, I'm going to do my 1 week postpartum video, and then also I'm going to show you my little precious bundle of joy, Walter. And yeah, so that is pretty much everything. I will be back with another video, hopefully within like a few days. I'll do the Q&A, if not, definitely in a week's time. It's very like busy with a new baby and cleaning and taking care of doggies and just being a part of my family with my spouse. So yes, I will be back, and I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of my followers and everyone liking and viewing my videos. But thank you everyone, and I hope you have a great day. Bye. Okay, so here is my belly, 1 week postpartum pregnancy, and you can still see the line, but I mean like overall it doesn't look that bad. Little pudge, and it's like kind of jiggly which is really weird for me because I'm not used to the jiggle. But honestly, it's been going great. I have lost almost 20 pounds so far, so that's like amazing and pretty impressed. Doesn't look that bad. And I have been using this wrap that's like super tight to put on, and I wear it for like 6 to 8 hours out of the day, and it's helped tremendously like tighten everything back up. So 1 week postpartum, the belly, side view, and I think it looks great. Okay everybody, so this is my little guy. His name is Walter, and he is a week old today, and he is just so precious. I love him so much. He is amazing. Look at all that hair and his cute little cheeks. He's got like cute little baby cheeks, little chubby cheeks. Yes, this is my little man. He is a week old. So precious. Absolutely love him. So yes, 1 week postpartum. Welcome everyone. Get to see more of Walter in the future. Say bye.